In early 2012, a post was made to the Minecraft forums, outlining what a player had discovered and named to be a block transmuter. This player goes on to talk about being able to alter or change certain Minecraft blocks into different ones using a strange redstone contraption. And what he had just opened was a can of worms spanning unobtainable Minecraft blocks, blocks in extremely bugged and unusual states never seen before, blocks that can crash your game and outright corrupt your Minecraft world forever if handled incorrectly, and some of the strangest and most bizarre Minecraft bugs and exploits I've ever seen, dating back over 11 years ago now. But what exactly is block transmutation? In older versions of Minecraft, blocks used numeric IDs rather than word IDs. So for example, if you wanted to give yourself some TNT in-game, you would use the command /give46, with 46 being the numeric ID for TNT, whereas now you would simply use the name TNT. Now, some blocks, rather than just being a basic numeric ID, also had additional data known as block metadata. For example, rather than wool and its various colors having block IDs 35, 36, 37, and so on, they instead all have block ID 35 and then another numeric metadata tied to them. Originally, this system of block metadata was used for blocks that had different states, such as wheat crops at different stages of growth, or cakes at different stages of consumption, but would also be used for block variations as the game continued to develop. Now, back to that Minecraft forums post from January 2012. You see, during this period, specifically Minecraft Beta 1.7 until Minecraft version 1.2.3, there was a strange bug involving block metadata. This bug allowed you to change or alter the metadata of a block into another one. So what the original creator of this post, Span1, discovered is that if a block was pushed into a space a liquid was going to flow into like so, and then moved by a zero-tick piston, which is a piston that received a redstone pulse that turns on and off within a single game tick, its metadata could be changed to another block. And just like that, we have turned a regular wool block into an orange wool block. Let's say I wanted a lime wool block which has a metadata of 5 instead. Well, if I placed my water stream 5 blocks away, well, would you look at that? Beyond simply getting different versions of wool though, block transmutation was extremely powerful in early versions of the game for a few reasons. You see, wool wasn't the only block in the game with unique metadata. Stone brick happened to have 3 metadata states: mossy stone bricks, cracked stone bricks, and most importantly, chiseled stone bricks. Cracked and mossy stone bricks could not be crafted at the time, only obtainable in strongholds, of which only 3 existed in a world, meaning that this method of transmutation was the only way to get a consistent supply of both. Chiseled stone bricks, which actually had no name at the time, could not be crafted or obtained in survival mode at all, meaning that this method of block transmutation was the only way to obtain such a block which could be mined and used functionally in survival. In fact, this was the only way to reliably obtain chiseled stone bricks in vanilla Minecraft up until they became craftable in a 1.8 snapshot, besides finding them in igloos and jungle temples. But that's not it. Double slabs also had unique block metadata, and with the right transmutations, you could obtain a version of the double stone slab that was actually entirely unobtainable in survival and creative at the time. Smooth stone like this could not be obtained in the game until Minecraft 1.13. There's one other very cool thing that this method of block transmutation could do though. Stairs only had 4 metadata values at the time, based on the 4 directions they could be placed and face in. So what would happen if we gave it a metadata larger than 4? Well, using this slightly different redstone contraption made by JL2579, you can get these invisible blocks that don't allow any light in, but also can be walked through. An early little sign of the strange transmutations that would be later discovered. So why the hell does this work, and what exactly is going on anyways? Well, for every block a water source flows, 1 metadata is applied to it. That's why we can control what types of blocks we want to transmute using the distance of the water flow. When the water is placed by the player and flows into our block of wool here, the piston replaces the water with a block of wool, but the data value of what the flowing water was meant to be is still applied, now to the wool block which is in its place instead. Because the piston moves the block within the same game tick using zero ticking, the metadata of the water changes the metadata of the block to be whatever the metadata of the flowing water was meant to be. The pressure of the water caused the block state to transform. Just like the pressure of me asking you to subscribe should cause your state of subscription to my channel to transform. No pressure. Oh wait, I mean, yes. Lots of pressure. Anyways, in Minecraft 1.2.4, this method of liquid block transmutation was patched by making sure the data value of the flowing water is set before block updates are processed. But liquid transmutation was only the beginning. A bit over a year later, in a Minecraft 1.7 snapshot and lasting all the way to Minecraft 1.7.5, another method of block transmutation was discovered: arrow transmutation. Now, normally in Minecraft, arrows can change the data values of wooden pressure plates, light-weighted pressure plates, wooden buttons, and string by activating them, thus changing their metadata value. And using this principle, we can trick arrows into landing on another block, but still applying this metadata change. Let's initially try it with string. First, we shoot an arrow on the ground like so, and then place the block we want to transform on top of it. Then we shoot another arrow on this stone block here, and use a piston contraption to push it off of the stone block it originally landed on. Then we replace the stone block the arrow thinks it landed on with string, and the arrow, which remember, still thinks it's on the stone block and thus now thinks it's fallen on a piece of string, still tries to change the metadata of the string. However, because the arrow is no longer falling on the string but another block, it instead changes the metadata of that block and thus transmutes it. Once again, we can control what block ID we want to attain by shooting a certain number of arrows into the ground and then covering them up with the block like so. If we shoot 6 arrows into the ground here, we will get a pink wall, which has a block metadata of 6. This only works with light-weighted pressure plates, however, as they can have metadata values ranging from 1 to 15, whereas string can only have a metadata value ranging from 0 to 1. Now, because different blocks can apply different metadata using this method, it has led to some very interesting block transmutations. As outlined in a video by Blue Crab 2, if we use the arrow method on a block of TNT, it will actually change the TNT into an old version of it from Minecraft Alpha and Beta, where it could be lit just by punching it. No redstone or other forms of activation required. You can also get alpha slabs utilizing the same method, now known as petrified wooden slabs, podzol, which is annoying to obtain in this version, the full slab block again, and mushroom blocks that look like this. However, the most bizarre block you can get with arrow transmutation is this. You see, cakes also have data values based on how much it has been eaten. So for example, if we add 1 to the cake's data value here, it will have one part of it missing. Same goes for 5 arrows here, leaving us with one last slice of cake. But what if we added, let's say, 7 arrows instead? Well, then we get a cake with 0 slices, which can still be eaten, mind you. But what if we go even further? Here we'll use 8 arrows, and things begin getting very weird. Now we have a negative cake, and the texture is actually on the wrong side of the block. Let's take it to the max now and use 15 arrows, and would you look at that, we have this extremely strange looking cake, which not only has a messed up texture, but the texture is also entirely on the wrong side of the block. I can't place blocks here at all, but I can here, and the cake can still technically be eaten. Using a similar technique, you can also create bugged cauldrons. This cauldron might look ordinary, but have a look at this. The cauldron we made emits a much stronger redstone signal than normal. It can also give us 4 water bottles instead of 3. Using this method, I can control the ID of the cauldron, allowing me to max out its redstone signal strength. Okay, I might have lied about the most bizarre thing being the cake. If we slightly modify the design we are using so we shoot the arrows from below the block we want to transmute instead, 6 arrows in particular, we can get a 6-sided piston. I'm sure you all want to know, does the piston work? Well, yes and no, as activating it will immediately crash your game, but guess what? If we use the 6-sided piston's special ability to crash the game, as displayed by Music Bike, we gain access to another powerful method of transmutation: door transmutation. Door transmutation works from Minecraft 1.2.1 snapshot 12W06A up until Minecraft 1.8 snapshot 14W21B. To do so, you first need to create what's known as a half wooden door. If we use our special 6-sided piston in a setup like this to first crash the game, then log back on and destroy the door, which will crash our game again, logging back in will provide us with an invisible half door. Placing a rail down here will crash the game for a 3rd time, and upon logging back in, we deactivate the 6-sided piston and open the invisible half door, leaving us with this normal looking rail. But, oh, it is not so normal. Let's place the minecart down, and look at that, it's diagonal. Doors used to function by having their top half change the bottom half of the door block in code when they were opened and closed. The 6-sided piston acts as a block update suppressor, which is why the game crashes whenever we try to update a block just by doing normal things like placing and breaking. We can use this method of update suppression to suppress all updates the door should receive to create the half door, and now whenever we try to open and close the half door, it changes the metadata of the block below it by plus or minus 4. Using this same method, we can create a faceless furnace as well. At this point, you have to be asking, what comes next? What other weird blocks can we get? Well, instead of going forward, let's take another step back. From Minecraft Beta 1.7.2 to Minecraft Beta 1.9 pre-release 5, which is a 1.0.0 pre-release version, pistons could merge two blocks together and thus transfer their data. But be careful, if you do this in Beta 1.7, it will corrupt the world and save entirely. Likewise, another technique involving pistons, which only works in Beta 1.7.3, utilizes this contraption to transmute blocks. This occurs due to incorrect code order, whereby when a block is placed, the game causes a block update, which then activates the machine to push the block here in the place of the stairs, and now the data value of the block that was pushed is set, but it's already been moved into the stairs. There is a specific selection of blocks with specific orientations, giving them specific numeric data values that you can use to determine what you want to transmute with this method. Skipping ahead now to Minecraft Snapshot 12W22A, a 1.3 snapshot, which probably has the simplest and most funny method of transmutation. Tripwire transmutation uses this very simple setup created by Bluecrab2, where upon activating a tripwire hook, a block will be transmutated and then transmutated again once the tripwire hook is deactivated. If the string is above air, you will get data value 7 upon activation and 6 upon deactivation, but if there are blocks below the string, it will give data value 5 upon activation and data value 4 upon deactivation. Some interesting blocks you can transmute are the faceless furnace, which can actually be used in this version, the 6-sided piston again, and you can make a brewing stand have visual bottles, even though they don't actually have any bottles in them. And finally, we have falling block transmutation, as displayed here by Ilmango. This method works from a 1.5 snapshot until a 1.13 snapshot, but only partly works beyond 1.7.10. Basically, falling blocks such as sand, gravel, and concrete powder could be changed to another falling block starter value, commonly used to convert sand to red sand. More information about all the transmutation methods I talked about today can be found on the Minecraft Discontinued Features wiki linked below. While transmutation is an awesome and interesting Minecraft quirk, in Minecraft 1.13 when the flattening occurred and all block IDs were no longer numeric, as well as many IDs of blocks and their states were altered, block transmutation methods ceased to function. Today, block transmutation remains as an interesting footnote on Minecraft history. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Be sure to subscribe for more videos like this and join my Discord. Thank you all so much for watching.